It's a beautiful day in this neighborhood, a beautiful day for a neighbor. Would you be mine? Could you be mine? It's a neighborly day in this beauty wood, a neighborly day for a beauty. Would you be mine? Could you be mine?
Hi Monroe, Dr. Ward here, and I am so excited to welcome you back to the neighborhood. This year is going to be an awesome year. Our theme this year is It's a Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood, and I'm really excited about it because it reminds me of my favorite TV show growing up, Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. I remember coming home from kindergarten each day to sit down to watch the show. It was filled with music, the land of make believe, some pretty cool topics, and some pretty awesome guest appearances. My Uncle Dave was a guest on the show once, and he talked about book publishing. My cousin Paul was also on the show, and he's a magician. Mr. Rogers just really had this cool way about him, and you always wanted to hear what he had to say, and you always wanted to learn just a little bit more. So, something pretty unique about Mr. Rogers is that he was able to talk about some pretty tough topics with kids, and quite honestly, with adults. I thought a lot about Mr. Rogers this past spring and summer when we got hit with the pandemic, because there were sometimes I didn't know how to talk about certain things with all of you. And I found myself thinking, what would Mr. Rogers say or what would Mr. Rogers do? And the more I thought about it, the more I knew what he would say. He would say, take care of your neighbors and that it's going to be okay if we just treat each other with kindness and respect and care. So, friends, I want us to remember that as we move through this school year. So, this year is going to look a little bit different. Some of our neighbors are going to be at home learning, and some of our neighbors are going to be at school learning. We are going to be wearing face coverings. We are going to be seated apart from our friends. Recess is going to look different. Lunch is going to look different. Things are just going to be different. But this is what I can promise you. We are still going to have fun. We are still going to make friends. We are still going to learn and grow together. Friends, we're still neighbors. Mr. Rogers would sing a line every day in his show, and don't worry, I'm not going to sing. But he would say, let's
So
make
let's
the
make the
most
most
of
of
this
this
beautiful
beautiful
day.
day. Since
And
we're
that's what
together,
I'm going to
we might as
encourage
well
us to do every
say,
day.
would you
Let's
be
make the most
mine? Could you be
of our beautiful days
mine?
together.
Won't you be my
So let's take
neighbor?
a closer look at what each day at Monroe is going to look like. So let's talk about a typical day. First, you are going to wake up excited and ready to start your day. But before you leave your house to come to school, you are going to check to see if you have a fever of 100.4 or higher. Do you have an unexplained cough or do you have an unexplained shortness of breath? And if you do, you are going to stay home. But if you don't, you're going to come to school. You are either going to take the bus to school or someone's going to drive you to school. And when you get to school, we are going to check your temperature again. Once we check your temperature, if it's below 100.4, you are going to go right to your classroom. But if it's above 100.4, you are going to get screened by the nurse. She is going to do a checklist as well. And at that time, she can determine if you can either go to your classroom or if you need to return home. So if your parents are driving you to school this year, you can arrive at Monroe at 8:20 in the morning. First, you guys will pull into the bus loop. There will be somebody there directing traffic and you will form two lanes. Once you're stopped, we ask that parents put your car into park and that the students only exit the vehicle already with their face covering on. Additionally, students, you should have with you your backpack, your lunchbox, your water bottle, anything you need for the day when you exit the car. We will then take your temperature. If you are fever-free, we will send you into the school building and you go wave goodbye to your parents. If you have a fever, we are going to ask you to get back in the vehicle and we will send you to a side parking lot where the nurse can do another screening on you. Again, we ask that families remain in vehicles at all times. When a group of students has entered the building, the person out front directing traffic will then tell the parents that they can put their vehicles back in drive and you can leave the bus loop. This is to ensure the safety of all of our students. Please make sure that you follow all of our morning routine instructions and please remain in your vehicles at all times. Friends, this does include the first day of school, so make sure to get those awesome first day pictures at home. So what happens if you're taking the bus to school? Well, friends, this year it's going to look a little bit different. Whenever the buses arrive at school, they are going to be pulling around to the back of the building. And in the back of the building, they will pull up to one of the doors. And at that time, we will exit the students one at a time. You will exit with your face covering on and all of your materials ready for the day. And at that point, each of you will have your temperature taken. If you have a fever, you will go to a specific area where you will be screened again by our nurse for other symptoms. But if you're fever-free, you will go right into the school building and right to your classroom for the day. Again, for the safety of everybody, we're asking that everybody follow the directions of everybody outside directing traffic and taking temperatures in all of our morning routines. Families, please be mindful that at the beginning of the year, with so many new routines, we do expect delays. Please be patient with us. We really appreciate your flexibility. So now we get to the good part, the things you really want to know about. What does your typical school day look like? Friends, there are changes this year. Again, for the safety of everybody, we're going to follow all guidelines, but I promise you it is still going to be awesome, exciting, and really fun. Over the next few days, you're going to get videos from your teachers that explains some really classroom specific procedures and a little bit more about your teachers in general. This is just an overview of the entire building. So in your classrooms, all desks are going to be 3 to 6 feet apart. They're all going to be facing in the same direction, and you're all going to have assigned seats. You're also going to be asked to wear your face coverings at all times. There will be some breaks throughout the day, but you're all going to be wearing your face coverings. I'm excited to see all the different kinds of varieties we're going to get here. You're also going to each be provided with a lanyard that you can attach to your face covering. That way you won't drop it throughout the day, or at lunchtime when you take it off, you won't accidentally lose it. So we'll have that every single day for you. Classrooms are also going to be the place this year where you have your specials. So your specialists will be pushing into your classrooms this year, and that will allow for you guys to stay self-contained all day long. Recess, that's a big one. Yes, there is going to be recess every single day. You will stay with the people in your homeroom for recess, and we will make sure that you rotate around every day so you can play in different areas of our playground outside. It's pretty awesome that Monroe has so many areas available to us and so many fields. So you guys are really going to get to be outside and have a great time with your friends. We are going to have sanitizer, and we're going to encourage sanitizer and hand washing all of the time. You are going to get tired of hearing us talk about it. One of our rules is going to be pump in, pump out. You're going to wash before you go out and wash after you come back in. And lunch. Lunch is really important. You can pack a lunch or you can buy lunch. If you're buying, there are going to be markers on the floors to keep you guys socially distanced in line. You are also going to have an assigned seat in lunch because we have to make sure everyone stays 6 feet apart in lunch because face coverings won't be worn during lunch. Once you're in your seat during lunch, you can take your face covering down. Utensils and napkins will all be prepackaged, and there will be one hot and one cold lunch option every single day. And guys, the bathrooms, we're going to limit them a little bit as well. But don't worry, you're all going to get to use the bathroom when you need to use the bathroom. Friends, we are cruising right through the day. It is already time for dismissal. This year, if your parents are going to pick you up, they are going to be arriving at Monroe at 2:30 in the afternoon. First, they're going to pull into the bus loop out front, and again, there's going to be someone out there directing traffic, and they're going to be forming 2 lanes. Your student pickup number that was mailed home to you is going to be displayed on their dashboard. If there's more than one student in the family, or if you guys are carpooling, we ask that all of the numbers be displayed. A staff member is going to enter those numbers into our system when you arrive, and all families are going to remain in their vehicles at all times. Students, you are actually going to be delivered to your parents' car this year. Again, parents, we ask that you remain in park when you're in the loop until you are dismissed by a staff member. Also, if you forget your pickup number this year, we are going to ask you to pull to the side until we can look up that information, just so we don't slow down traffic too much. Again, a new practice this year, so please be flexible with us, especially in the first few days of school. If you plan to pick up your child every day from school, please fill out the Google form that was attached to this email, and that's just going to help us plan more efficiently for our end of the day routine. Additionally, if your child is not designated as a permanent pickup rider every day and you wish to pick up your child this school year on any given day, you must notify the office by 2 p.m. Again, this is just going to allow us to keep things running smoothly and safely every day. So if you're riding the bus home from school, bus pickup is going to be at 2:50 in the front of the building. So the buses will arrive, we will call the bus numbers, and you guys will be exiting, but you're going to be doing so 6 feet apart from each other, so you will be socially distanced as you walk out. You will continue to wear your face covering throughout the building and while on the bus, and you must stay in your assigned seat and the location on the bus at all times. Some reminders to all family, there will be no bus notes this year. Again, for the safety of all and the guidelines we are following, there will be no bus notes this year. Students are not riding home with friends or anybody this school year. They cannot get on a different bus this school year. Kindergarten families, a reminder, anytime a bus is bringing home your child, a familiar adult must be present at the bus stop when the kindergarten students are being brought home. So again, kindergarten students, they must have an adult present at the bus stop in order for the kindergarten student to get off of the bus. And as always, again, the beginning of the year, there may be delays. So be patient with the bus drivers, and the transportation department. So just like every great restaurant in town, this year Monroe is going to offer curbside pickup and drop off if you are picking up your child for an appointment during the school day, if you're picking up a sick child, if you're late dropping off a child in the morning, or if you're returning a child from an appointment. So you are going to pull up out front. We'll have a sign out there with our number. Just give us a call. We will either bring your child to you or we will pick up your child from you. Families will not be entering the building. We do ask that it be somebody either dropping off or picking up that is in the system. So if you're going to have somebody picking them up that is not in our system, you must notify us, or even better yet, just go add them to the system now. If we're not familiar with the adult, We will be asking to see identification, so please make sure the adult has identification with them. Again, curbside pickup at Monroe this year. There will be a sign out front with our phone number on it. You pull up, give us a call. We will bring your child to you, or we will pick up your child from you. What about, let's answer some questions you may have. So what about breakfast? Yes, you can still purchase breakfast if you wish. As soon as you enter the building, you'll just head to the cafeteria. You will be sitting 6 feet apart, and your breakfast will be prepackaged. If it's a cold breakfast, if it's a hot breakfast, some of your ingredients will be prepackaged, and your hot portion of the meal will be ready for you. What about specials? You will still have specials this year, but they're going to look a little bit different. First through fifth grade, you're going to have art, music, and PE. Kindergarten, you'll have PE. All grades will be checking out ebooks for the library, and band will be offered to fifth graders. We're going to do some pretty cool stuff with explorations as well in the classroom with your classroom teacher. This is a pretty big one, but what about birthdays? Friends, in accordance with our COVID plan, there's not going to be any birthday treats this year. So there's going to be no food treats, but this also means non-food items. So nothing can be brought from home because we're not really sharing anything. So we will still celebrate you. We're so excited for you, but we really can't share any items brought in from home. In fact, any items that are brought in from home, they will not be distributed. We are still going to do responsive classroom, so we're going to do morning meetings and we'll do energizers throughout the day. Also, what about volunteers and visitors? All non-essential volunteers and visitors are not going to be permitted in the building. If you need to make an appointment with us, you can email us or call us and we'll set up a virtual appointment at this time. And what about health services? Health screenings are going to be delayed until the spring. But kindergarten, please still submit that physical form. And kindergarten and third grade, please submit your dental forms. Also, if you're new to the district, feel free to reach out to our nurse if you have to submit any health forms. What about materials? Friends, you are each going to house your own materials in your own desk this year. So for the first time ever, kindergarten through fifth grade is going to have their own desks. The only materials that we ask that you bring with you each day are 2 face coverings from home, your own earbuds, and a water bottle. Speaking of water bottles, our water fountains at school are going to be turned off at the bottom part where you guys would drink out of the spigot, but don't worry, the bottle refilling stations will still be on so you can refill your water bottles. And while field trips might not occur in person this year due to our COVID regulations, we are still going to take some pretty fun virtual field trips. And assemblies and parties are going to look a bit different too. So there aren't going to be any parties with food this year to share, but we are going to have some pretty cool teacher-run parties. We also are encouraging each and every one of you to remember your materials every single day. In fact, we're strongly discouraging parents from dropping off any materials to us. Parents, if you have to drop something off, there will be a place in the lobby that you can drop items. Please remember to clearly label whatever you're dropping off with your student's name. After you leave the lobby, we will pick up the item and deliver it to your child. Communications this year will happen the same way that they did last year in most cases. Monroe is still going to be sending out our weekly email communication. This is going to go to the primary contact listed in Skyward. So if that is not the person that you want receiving this, please go in and make sure you update your Skyward information. This is going to include all important building information and PTO news. The main form of communication from our teachers is going to go out through Seesaw. Please ensure that you're signed up to receive Seesaw notifications. The teachers are going to share tons of information with you on this soon, but make sure that you do sign up to get these notifications and that you don't have them blocked in your email. And Skyward, please make sure that you go on and complete all outstanding forms in Skyward. Especially please double check for accurate phone numbers and email addresses. It's vital that we have your most up-to-date contact information in the event that we need to contact you immediately. Okay, friends, so I know you're excited to meet your teacher, and this year that's going to look a little bit different as well. You are going to each receive a video from your teacher that you'll get to learn a little bit more about them. So I know you won't get to meet your teacher in person before the school year, but you will get a chance to see what they look like with and without a face covering. You'll get to learn more about them and the awesome things that you guys are going to get to do together this school year. Parents, we are also going to have a back to school night, but that will also take place virtually. There's going to be 2 sessions this year, just like in the past. You only need to attend one of them, but we offer the 2 so that if you have children in different grade levels, you can attend the 2 different sessions. The first session will be from 6 to 6:45, and the second will be from 7 to 7:45. This is a parent event. Actually, it might be kind of boring for the kids, but it's really more curricular based and a chance for you to ask questions. Specific information will be communicated with you from your teacher. I can't wait to see you guys. I miss you. Only a few more days until we get to be together again. Welcome back to the neighborhood. See you soon.
Hey, feeling good, like I should. When in dark, I walk around the neighborhood. Feeling blessed, never stressed. Got that sunshine on my Sunday best. Yeah, hey, every day can be a better day despite the challenge. All you gotta do is leave it better than you found it. It's gonna get difficult to stand, but hold your balance. I just say whatever, cause there is no way you're around it. Everyone falls down sometime, but you just gotta know it'll all be fine. It's okay. It's okay.